Hey everyone, welcome to CryptoData. So we're going to give it a couple minutes on this live stream, so we'll let everyone get in here, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the current state of the market and basically some headlines for tomorrow. Going to talk about the Super Bowl tomorrow and things to expect from that, as well as some positive news that I've seen recently. So give it a couple minutes, and then let everyone get in here, and then we'll go ahead and start. So I see so far we have one person in here. So again, we'll give it a couple more minutes, wait for a few more people to get in, and then we'll start this live stream. And if you're in here, feel free to say hi. Don't be shy. We'll always love, answering questions and stuff and just getting everyone's opinion on, the topics that we're talking about. Okay, we'll go ahead and start this live stream, and then hopefully we'll get some more people in here. But basically, we're just going to talk about the market and what's been going on today, and just my outlook, for the future and kind of where we're going from there. So right now we can see Bitcoin's at about $9,100. It's up 8% today. So that's been great news. In my video earlier today, I talked about it's great to see all these cryptocurrencies in the green again, and a lot of them are outperforming others. So, and you can see here, Ripple's been doing good, up 16%. We have Cardano actually up 35% to 46 cents. Then we have Litecoin, another big player, up 33%, up to $164. So that's been great, having all these coins up this much. There's a ton of double-digit growth here, and it's great to see. Hopefully some of you bought the coins back in yesterday at the cheap prices, so you're enjoying some of these gains. But even if you aren't, hopefully you're still holding and stuff, and where we go from here. I see us hopefully continuing this rally. So we'll just go ahead and look at Bitcoin right now. And we can see here that right now Bitcoin's at 9,080, and I drew a couple support levels, and you can see the support level right now that it's holding is that $9,000 support level. So you can see it dipped below that, but then it came right back above it. So I believe holding just above, in the high 8,000s to the low 9,000s, that's where the support lies. So about 8,900 to 9,100, that's what we're looking at. And it's good to see it's held that right now. Again, I previously mentioned in my last video that it dipped down to that 8,000 support level, and then it bounced right off of that, and it's held at about the 8,300 support level. So it's good to see that these two support levels are holding, and I look forward to them holding in the future, and hopefully this 9,000 does hold, so that we'll start retesting this resistance here at 9,400 and then continue on to 10,000. So we'll continue, and we'll see how we're doing with Bitcoin. But as of now, like I mentioned, as long as the FUD stays to a minimum and we maintain around this range, then I do see us continuing the rally. So one news I want to talk about is actually the Super Bowl, and I know I know a lot of people in the U.S. are watching the Super Bowl and around the world, and it's going to be big. And one of the reasons why I see it being big is because of how much cryptocurrencies had an impact on last year. So I'm interested to see if we have any ads for cryptocurrencies during the Super Bowl. So that's something I'm going to be interested in. But this is an article here, and it says Super Bowl fan uses Bitcoin to snap up tickets for $19,000 and the first for NFL showpiece event. So it says New England Patriots fan is believed to have made Super Bowl history after snapping up a pair of tickets for Sunday's NFL showdown using Bitcoin. The buyer, who wishes to remain anonymous, contacted a secondary ticket vendor on Thursday after being unable to use the cryptocurrency with official ticket outlets. TickPick decided to take up the offer and locked in the sale when the price of the volatile currency was worth $93.60, taking the cost to almost $19,000. And it says, while that may seem steep, the seats were located on the first row of the 50-yard line. TickPick was recently selling row 2 seats for $15,255 for each. So basically, this customer reached out to them and said, I have some Bitcoin, I'd love to use this to make it happen. And the CEO of TickPick said, let's do it. So it's one of the reasons is they saved a lot of money on fees. So if the customer used an American Express card to buy the tickets, then the company would have had to pay 2.89% fee of the transaction. So instead, they only paid 0.1% of the fee. So this is one of the reasons why, I'm so bullish on cryptocurrencies, is because now, they kind of set the precedent there for, using cryptocurrencies, to buy like tickets and actually get real world example of that. So I think this is great publicity for Bitcoin. And it goes to show you that, more and more companies are starting to adopt the cryptocurrency. So, I think definitely we'll probably see some ads in the Super Bowl. It is possible, we might see one or two, so hopefully we do, and then that's just going to cause another, just inflow of people that are getting into the cryptocurrency market. So we may see, another rise like we saw in December, maybe not to that extent, but just another rush in February from that. So it'll be interesting to see if we have that. But looking at another article I was looking at, basically this one says Bitcoin mining comes to New York as lawmakers approve power allocation. So this is great because New York tends to be pretty strict on their rules regarding cryptocurrencies. And here it says cloud mining service CoinMint has won approval to take over an abandoned smelter for Bitcoin mining operations on Tuesday, January 30th. And basically it says it's the operation should involve $165 million investment in infrastructure from CoinMint and the creation of 150 jobs for the population of the nearest town, Messina, and the surrounding area. So, this is great news. And, basically they're, allowing these operations to happen in the city. And I think that's great news, and it just shows, more and more people are adopting it. And then it talks about Russia confirming plans to transform spare grid capacity into mining setups in former monopoly. China producing messages about its plans to ostensibly withdraw from the industry altogether. So again, all these places are already, if China does stop, with mining, then all these other countries are going to start picking up where China left off. So I think this is great news, and it's definitely something to look forward to in the future. Fitness Delivery says Vive has a commercial to be shown during the Super Bowl. That's really awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I'll actually have to look that up. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these companies, if they're showing Super Bowl cryptocurrencies and Super Bowl commercials, that's one of the largest advertisements for crypto, for basically television. So if it's shown during the Super Bowl, you can bet a lot of people are going to look at that, and there's going to be a lot of people, searching Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies tomorrow. So that's great news. Definitely. Thanks for sharing that. Another article looking at here is, it says top 10 things you must know about cryptocurrency by Blockchain Guru. So here it says cryptocurrencies exceed many experts' expectations last year, and after breaking through into the public domain, some saw their value explode, while others were happy to ride the wave as prices increased. It says many of the predictions Blockchain Guru Alex Tapscott and Don Tapscott made predictions in 2017 held up, and some were even ridiculed, notably when forecasting that Bitcoin would nearly triple in value. So it has some good points here and some good news why it's good to be bullish on cryptocurrencies right now. It says cryptocurrencies value will continue to grow and more people will invest. So Mr. Tapcott said, forget about a massive and permanent crash. Crypto assets will be volatile and there will be meltdowns, but expect an overall increase in value as long as innovation in functionality continues. We'll see a flood of institutional, retail, and family office money entering the markets. Over the next years, most of cryptocurrencies in the top 10 will be superseded by platforms that have more powerful functionality. So basically saying, as long as they maintain their innovativeness and just their, keep increasing their usefulness, then we'll see them grow much more in the future. And then, here it says number 2, businesses will embrace cryptocurrencies and look at innovative blockchain projects. So that's good. It's basically more businesses adopting it. The new platform for value creation emerges. So basically, like Ethereum, the number of game-changing D-apps built on it, all these different apps, using the Ethereum smart contract technology, to be able to bring their projects to life. And then in number 4, it says the $10 billion ICO as initial coin offering shifts towards equity tokens. So basically just giving new businesses the opportunity to raise capital, whereas otherwise would be much harder. So it kind of accelerates projects and accelerates the growth and adoption of cryptocurrencies through startup businesses. And then, taking ownership of your own personal data. So, you can kind of create a digital black box and then, even sell access to it if you wish to do so. So versus, companies that actually kind of sell your privacy, like Facebook and everything, you have, you can create your own digital privacy box, if you will, so you can maintain it and not have to worry about companies selling your data and getting random phone calls from advertisers. So number 6, it says in 2018, technology giants will embrace cryptocurrencies. So again, places such as Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple will invest heavily in blockchain technologies. We've already seen that with Facebook. They want to make their own coin. We've heard about Amazon possibly getting into the market. We've heard about eBay, possibly taking payments from that, versus PayPal. And even Google, they're investing in some cryptocurrencies. So, again, you have all these big companies, and I think 2017 was kind of like, lighting that small fire. And then now it's really going to burst when we see all of these new companies coming into the market and wanting to get a piece of the pie, especially while it's cheap right now. So, and then implementation of fiat currencies. So, basically, it says fiat money is a currency that a government has declared to be legal tender, but is not backed by physical commodities such as gold or silver. Fiat money is based solely on the faith and credit of the economy. So, basically saying, a lot of larger retailers will accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general as fiat payments. So that's going to be good. And then of course, they'll incur lower fees versus credit cards and such. And then here, number 8, 2018 will be the year of regulation for blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So Mr. Tapscott believes some regulation could be helpful, especially in the highly speculative world of ICOs. So again, this is just regulation. It's not actually, banning cryptocurrencies. So it's just making them safer and to help people from not getting scammed. So number 9 says blockchain breakthroughs on tokens generated from sustainable sources. So basically the deployment of distributed energy and peer-to-peer trading of energy tokens generated from sustainable sources. So but it says tokenized carbon credits will be transacted through smart contracts at marketplaces like Viridium. So basically, making kind of a breakthrough from carbon emissions and everything, make it healthier, whether you believe in that or not. Just, another benefit. And then cryptocurrency security will become even stronger and more secure. So basically, one of the big arguments that they were talking about is, a lot of the government complains that cryptocurrencies aren't safe. That you can do a lot of money laundering and all these illegal activities. But you saw that whenever CoinCheck got hacked for their $500 million worth of NIM tokens, they were able to stop the hackers and not let those tokens leave the wallet. They contacted exchanges and said, don't let them use any transactions from this wallet. So really the hackers couldn't do anything with the money. So that shows you right there, money laundering is much harder with cryptocurrencies versus with versus with fiat. So in fiat, you can just kind of launder it and you can't track fiat. But at least with cryptocurrencies, there's a public, it's on the public blockchain and everyone can see where the transaction goes and what wallet it's in. So that's what makes them so secure, and that's why more people are attracted to them. So that's just something to keep in mind, whenever someone argues about money laundering with cryptocurrencies. Another thing here is, I found this article interesting. It says Vitalik Buterin donates 2.4 million in Ether to anti-aging research. It says the SINS Research Foundation, a charity funded by researching for treating age-related illnesses, has received a 2.4 million Ether donation from Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, according to a press release on the charity's website Friday, February 1st. So this is great because, one, it just shows that, people who are in cryptocurrencies, aren't all out for themselves. So this kind of gives a positive light to cryptocurrencies even more because, it's showing you that these CEOs and everything are actually, donating to good causes. And it's good to see that, Vitalik did this, and it kind of just makes cryptocurrencies more in the positive eye versus kind of that underground, secretive, currency that some people see it as. So I thought this was a good article just to share here. And then, let's see, my official says, anything about the ICO link? Let's see, my official, I actually haven't, I haven't heard of Link, actually. Let me search that up real quick. I was actually going to talk about ICOs. Let's see, is it called Chainlink? Yeah, I have not heard about this. See, I don't think it's that one. Link ICO. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Link. I'll have to check that out. But it seems like it was quite a while ago. It says here start date was September 19th. End date was October 19th. So I guess it's probably on CoinMarketCap here. Today it's went up 11%. It's at 51 cents. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, I'd have to research it more and find out for you because I don't have too much info on that one. So I'll have to get back to you on that. But talking about ICOs here. So I want to talk about ArcBlock. And this was an ICO that actually just happened today. And there was a ton of traffic on their website. You can see here. So they posted, 4 hours ago. Hooray, we made it. In 19 minutes, we raised 12,500 Ether. So that's huge. That is fast. And there was actually a lot of problems that they were having with that, and a lot of basically complaints that people had that dealt with this ICO. So one of these here you can see, it says we're having issues with our subreddit. The moderator's account, Mav99 Alpha, was hacked. Please be careful of all scammers. The public sale has ended. Do not send any Ether or CMT. Please help us report this scam. So basically what's happening for a lot of these ICOs is once the ICO is ended, then either, someone will hack, someone will hack their website or their email service, or just make a fake account and try to tell people, hey, this, even though the sale ended, we found some extra coins, or we feel bad for everyone getting left out. Send 0.2 Ether to this address and you'll receive 100,000 tokens or something. And they'll make, these weird, these weird requests, and a lot of people will end up doing that because they think it's the actual company telling them that. But again, if an ICO sells out fast and, someone claiming to be the company tries to contact you or says, hey, even though the sale's ended, we're offering you more, don't do that. Don't fall to that scam, because that's a big thing that's going on right now with these ICOs. I think the past 3 or 4 big ICOs, they've had some problems with that. And it's just, especially in Discord or Telegram, anyone that is trying to be the moderator or tells you, that the sale is still on or something, or send ETH to this address, don't fall for that. Verify for sure that it's who you're actually talking to before you can, continue on. So David says, hey, what's going on, David? He says, thank God the market is rebounding. Yes, David, that's definitely a good thing. So that's one of the things I was talking about, I just started this live stream. Basically, this market's rebounding right now, and this $9,000 support, kind of, 8,900 to 9,000, seems to be the found support level right now. If we break this again, we're looking at this 8,300 support level. So hopefully we'll maintain the support. A lot of people are bullish right now and think that, this was the bounce at 7,800 or 7,900, and we are continuing on a rally today. So it's definitely some good news, and I'm glad that I held through all of that, because it was pretty crazy. So anything could happen, of course, but just it's good to see some positive news right now. And so that was it for ICOs. Basically, just keep in mind all the scams that are going on. And one of the other things on this ArcBlock ICO, this Danny, his name is Danny Less, and he has 8,000 followers. And one of the things he posted was refraining from commenting on what hearing occurred during the ArcBlock ICO public sale. Their Telegram channel appears to be full of irate people. Think it's fair to wait for official statement. Will ArcBlock ICO join the list of disastrous ICO launches this first quarter? And basically he says, it seems each permitted participant was given an individual ETH address for contributions, and ones that missed out are still able to see their funds in the receiving individual wallet address. Where this gets interesting is to see if the funds at any point leave that wallet and go anywhere else but back to the sender. We await ArcBlock ICO's next move. So again, always be careful with these ICOs. I know there's a lot of hyped ones, but again, do your research. Make sure it's a reputable company. Try to look at the team, research as much as you can, and hopefully you don't get scammed. It's just one of those things to be worried about. And hey, if you like an ICO but you were worried about getting scammed, just wait till it comes out on an exchange. You may lose 10-20% that you could have got at a cheaper price, but that's better than losing all your money. So just keep that in mind when dealing with these ICOs. So let's see. David says, you probably talked about NEO already, but your thoughts on Ethereum versus NEO. So David, I actually haven't talked about NEO yet. Let me go ahead and pull that up. So we can see right now, Ethereum's up 9% at $953. NEO, it's up 9% at $122. The big argument with Ethereum versus NEO, basically NEO is China's Ethereum, if you will. It's just like Ethereum in the sense that a lot of ICOs do use the NEO blockchain and are able, and there are actually some good ICOs as well. So I know a lot of big YouTubers like NEO. They think it's going to get, up into the 4 digits, 1,000 and higher, pretty soon, within this year, and maybe even 5 digits. But my opinion is NEO's been acting really well. Just in this recent spike, I mean, it's held up its value very, very well compared to a lot of coins. Currently I do not hold any NEO, but it's not a bad hold. I'm not a financial advisor or anything. This is an investment advice, but I'm just saying that, NEO has performed pretty well. and I can see it going, you know, a lot higher in the future as more ICOs are using the Neo blockchain, as more people, because really Neo's been out for like 6 months, so everyone knows what Ethereum is because it's been out longer, but everyone doesn't know what Neo is. So I think as more people find out what Neo is and kind of how it relates to Ethereum in the sense that they're, you know, almost the same kind of technology, then we'll see more adoption of Neo than we have seen recently. So that's my take on it. You know, they're both really good. I am holding Ethereum, not holding Neo, so I may pick up some extra Neo here. But yeah, they're both great coins, and honestly, I mean, you can't lose holding either one. So, but as far as more growth, I think Neo has the potential to grow more than Ethereum. If you're looking for gains, you know, if you're looking for more stable, probably Ethereum. But if you're looking for, you know, that 2x, 3x, 4x returns, probably start investing in Neo. So, with that, there's another article I want to talk about. This one says U.S. derivatives regulator looks to calm cryptocurrency fears. So basically, as you know, a lot of the drop for cryptocurrency or Bitcoin in general was caused by Bitcoin futures. That was one of the contributing factors, just a lot of the manipulation with Bitcoin futures and stuff. And basically, the chairman of the CFTC says they eye measures to protect futures markets from volatile price swings. So this was published on January 31st, a couple days ago. And it says the main U.S. derivatives regulator has moved to assure brokers worried that explosive swings in cryptocurrency prices could destabilize conventional futures markets. So it says here that exchanges listing new futures on virtual currencies would be required to disclose the steps they have taken to receive input from parties, including brokers and trading firms. Said Christopher Giancarlo, chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Commission staff would also examine the governance of clearinghouses that handle virtual currency products and may recommend changes. So basically, it's just they're trying to limit the volatility here of the futures contracts and everything. And I think that's great because, you know, there's so much volatility and everything. And if you kind of restricted that even more, then it, you know, wouldn't cause as many of these price swings per se. You know, it would help lessen the manipulation a little bit. I mean, not a whole lot, but it's good to see that, you know, at least they're taking this chance or this time to, you know, kind of help regulate it a little more so that there's not as much manipulation by the whales and basically just, you know, as much manipulation with you know, cryptocurrencies in general. So it's good news, you know, and just something I want to bring up as well that some people may have not been talking about. But basically, I mean, that was pretty much it. You know, I mean, just looking at, you know, what's been going on and stuff. And, you know, I just want to talk about just the bounce that we've had. And again, if we can have another green day like we had today, I mean, even just consolidation here, you know, and just, you know, up a little bit over this $9,400 level, then I definitely think that can solidify a reversal here and that this 7,900 was the bottom. So that's something I'm keeping in mind and, you know, something I'm watching out for as we continue moving forward. But, you know, after that 9,400 level here, then we do have $10,000. And then from there, then, you know, we're off to the races and possibly eyeing, you know, 14,500 or higher. So, but the main thing is that a lot more news articles that coming out are bullish on cryptocurrencies. They're kind of saying, you know, Bitcoin bounces, cryptocurrencies bounce after large fall. You know, target for Bitcoin now is 14,500 off the bounce. Just a lot of good positive news right now. And it's always good to see with, you know, these like market crashes that we've seen. So I think just January was just, you know, the month of, you know, the month that where everything crashed. You know, historically January is that month. So it's good to see that, you know, we've kind of gone over that and hopefully we'll see a continued rise here. But please, if anyone has any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I mean, you know, I don't have much more to talk about. I was basically just bringing up some stuff about the Super Bowl because that was tomorrow. And again, you know, seeing some cryptocurrency ads in there and possibly seeing another run up. You know, I think that'd be good. So definitely watch out for tomorrow night. You know, if we do have another run up and stuff, and just see, you know, what what happens with those commercials, because if we do have some, then I definitely think it'll help out. We'll see a lot more people, signing up with exchanges and starting to invest. So David says, Ripple versus Stellar, your ideas. So David, that's a great question. Ripple was up 18% today, and then we have Stellar that was up over 28%. So from my experience, it seems that, whenever Ripple starts rising, Stellar isn't far behind it. But Stellar, a lot of time, seems to have the better gains. As the guy from Ripple, went over to Stellar and kind of made his own company. And the big difference, Ripple is centralized and, kind of used for the banks, while Stellar's a nonprofit. And I actually know a lot of people that are bullish on Stellar. Some people rip on it, but, I know a lot of people are in on Stellar right now, and I definitely see it as a good coin. It's not bad at all. And again, when it bounces hard. So again, you can see it's 28% up. And it's put up some good competition for Ripple. So right now it's 8.5 billion market cap versus Ripple's 36 billion. So just looking at that, you could say it's a 4x from here. But again, I think it's one of those coins that we'll definitely see more in the future, and one that could have some growth. So David says, I'm out of Ripple and full in on Stellar. Yeah. So, I think really you can't go wrong with either coin. I think if you're looking for potential, Stellar maybe has more potential, but Ripple is still, they're getting a lot of partnerships with banks, with Santander Bank and a couple others. So, again, both of these projects are really good. Stellar probably has a little bit more potential for more gains, percentage wise, but, I guess, Ripple is more of like a long-term hold if you're, if you believe in that. So just my opinion. Looking at other coins, just let's see. IOTA is almost up to $2 again. That had quite the tumble from its high of over 5. VeChain's another one a lot of people like. So if you're thinking about investing, like if you have some extra money to invest, again, right now, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum. If you like Ripple, Litecoin. Litecoin's up 37%, and that was on the news that for LitePay, basically it's an app that's coming out in a couple days where businesses all over the world can accept Litecoin. Basically, what it does, it kind of converts Litecoin into cash, so any business can accept it, and it's instantaneous. I think there's no transaction fees, and it's really, really great. It's kind of like BitPay, but BitPay has a $5 transaction fee. So LitePay is going to have no transaction fee. So that's going to be huge, and that's going to have more businesses adopting Litecoin. So keep an eye out for that. And that's why the rise has been. So definitely Litecoin is a good one. Stellar, Neo, and then let me see, VeChain is another one. So they're just getting a lot of partnerships. The thing that popped VeChain off was that whenever it got a government partnership in China, and now they're getting a lot more. And actually. Something to keep in mind for VeChain is they are rebranding to VeChain Thor, and that's going to happen this February. I believe towards the end of February. So keep that in mind, because this will just keep rising up until then, or at least a couple days before the rebranding, because everyone loves a rebranding, and VeChain is a great company, and I think we'll definitely see some potential with that. Ethereum Classic, people are talking about that. This is more like a steady coin, steady riser. And then, let's see, Nano was Rayblocks. They rebranded to Nano. I'm not invested in that, though. Let me see. And this is another coin, too. Digits Dow. I was talking about it in my previous video. But basically, this coin, so it's down 12%. It's probably one of the only coins that's down today. But if you look at during the whole crash, this coin was doing good. So let's just say a 7-day. So you can see during the 7-day, so it was at 223, and then it rose up all the way to a high of over $450. So, and this right here was during the crash. So, it had a huge rise over here, and the big reason for this was people basically see this as kind of like gold. and it tokenizes gold. And I think if you hold one token, you hold 1 ounce of gold. But basically, a lot of people are using this coin as like a safe haven, if you will. And that's why you saw, this little price rise here, and it go up to 400 and stuff, and then went back down. People are using it for that use. So a lot of times it was up 20% whenever Bitcoin was crashing. So keep an eye on that one. If we have another crash, that could be one that could see some more action again for a hedge. So David says, where do you see Ethereum and Bitcoin 3 years from now? Any thoughts and why? So I see Ethereum and Bitcoin. I see them up, a lot higher than they are now. Price wise, I see Bitcoin at, 3 years from now, I can see it near, 3 years is going to be near 2020. I can see it over 100,000 3 years from now, for sure. As you know, John McAfee, he's a real popular, outspoken guy about Bitcoin. He has a whole thing with, eating one of his body parts if Bitcoin isn't $1 million by 2020. I think $1 million is a stretch, but again, anything's possible. But there's a lot of people who's bullish on Bitcoin. People thinking Bitcoin's going to reach 50,000 by the end of this year. Basically, I'm really, really bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin in the sense that they've already kind of started using their Lightning Network, and the transaction fees are, almost minimal now versus where they were, a month ago. So they're starting to have, being able to, have a lot more transactions on their blockchain and just be able to take a lot more throughput. So I think as more businesses adopt it, and, as we're adjusting, how many transactions per second Bitcoin can take, and then really just being able to accelerate that, I do think that we may see it, used more for payments. But again, right now it's kind of like a store of value, kind of like gold. So it may continue to be that. But again, even if it is, people still invest in gold long term. So I still see Bitcoin being like that. And if it is, if it does update its technology and everything, then, it could very well be used as payments, just like any other coin. So, and as far as Ethereum, right now, all the ICOs use Ethereum. So I see Ethereum continuing to grow. As far as targets for 3 years, I could easily see it, 5,000 or more. But for Ethereum, basically, I think it's just, one of those steady growers, and it has been a great hedge versus Bitcoin. But, as long as it keeps updating its technology and transactions per second that it can handle, then I do see it being bullish with Bitcoin. So some people aren't as bullish on Ethereum, but, I'm still pretty positive that, as the team, as long as Vitalik and, a lot of the main founders stay on the team and, keep developing and keep, advancing the technology, then it definitely has some good potential. So I personally, my long-term holds right now that I'm not even touching are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those are the 3 coins that I'm not even touching. I buy a little more every chance I get, and then just kind of holding them, for the long term. So I see Litecoin definitely, disrupting the market when LitePay comes out, and just, because it is, faster than Bitcoin and just more used for payments. So I definitely see Litecoin coming up too. But as far as other coins, so we already talked about VeChain, and then Digits Dow. That was just one. Like, don't invest in this one. I'm just saying this is the one that a lot of people use as a hedge whenever the crash did come. David says, if I was basing McAfee crypto forecasting based on the look of the women he dates, I do the opposite. Yeah, so he has a lot of outlandish predictions, to say the least. So, for everyone's sake, I hope Bitcoin goes to 1 million by 2020. But it's hard to really realistically, argue for that. So, but we'll see. And then Walton. So David asked about Walton. So Walton Chain is one that has, it made quite the commotion whenever it came out. A lot of people were bullish on Walton for the longest time. You can see here it went, from $1.50 all the way up to a high of over $40. So, You know, it had a huge run up. I know that a lot of people are bullish on Walton and do love the company and, you know, the people who are in it. And I know there's a lot of companies adopting Walton Chain and using their technology, but I personally am not invested in Walton Chain. I think, you know, it could be good, but it's just, I'd have to do more research, honestly, on it and to really decide if I want to invest in it. But, I mean, just looking at, you know, what it was doing here, I mean, it had this huge dip here. I'm not sure what this was from. I mean, I'm sure it's from the crash, but looks a little more than other coins. But, yeah, I mean, I think long-term you're safe with Walton, but I just have to do more research and probably invest in other coins if I had a choice. One that I am more bullish for long term, and you'll probably know, is Dragonchain. So Dragonchain is one that basically they provide turnkey solutions for any business that wants to get into blockchain technology, and they're doing a lot of startup ICOs and everything. And one of their startup ICOs they're coming out with is called Metropolis. So if you go to their website, you can see that they announced that ICO, and I believe that's going to be coming probably in a couple weeks. They announced it here, and it says it's a tokenized blockchain employment marketplace and the latest Dragon Scale incubator project. Check out their website and help us review and give feedback to their white paper. So, I think this Metropolis is going to be good. It's basically aiming at the $400 billion global staffing industry, and using that blockchain technology to disrupt that. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And Dragonchain with their ICOs, one of the big things about it is if you're in the United States, you can participate in them. So you can. So it's that's great because I know a lot of ICOs are excluding U.S. participants. So since Dragonchain is in the United States, it's great that they're accepting these U.S. customers. So that's another reason I'm bullish on it. But again, I see Dragonchain, long term $10, possibly by the end of the year. So definitely bullish on that, and I think it has a lot of potential. It was founded by Disney employees, and I see a lot of potential with that coin as well. And then scrolling down, I mentioned I know Crypto Hedge. He's really bullish on Digibyte, so it's one of his coins that he likes. And then ZClassic is another one I'm bullish on. So again, if you're not familiar with ZClassic, basically they're a privacy coin. And they're going to have a fork with Bitcoin for Bitcoin Private. That is going to be at the end of February and the next couple days afterwards. Basically, Bitcoin Private is going to be like the anonymous version of Bitcoin, which, I mean, that's really attractive, if you look at the technology. And I think that, for every one ZClassic you hold during the hard fork, you're going to get a Bitcoin Private. But make sure you're holding it on a compatible wallet. So Coinomy here says, we're thrilled to announce that Coinomy Wallet, one of the largest multi-coin wallets, will be supporting ZClassic and Bitcoin Private. So that's great news. If you keep your ZClassic in here, you will get one Bitcoin Private when the hard fork does happen. And right now, people are forecasting the Bitcoin Private coin to be about $300 per coin. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely see the price of ZClassic going up higher, 2x or 3x from here, as we approach the end of February. So a lot of coins are, they have a lot of things going on towards the end of February. So definitely make sure, VeChain, ZClassic, and then a couple others. So make sure to keep those coins in your cross check and maybe, buy a little right now while they are cheap. I know Syndicator was promoted by Palm Beach Official. Don't really have an opinion on that one, but they said buy up to price is 30 cents. So take that for what it's worth. And then let me look. There's any other coins. Yeah, so that's basically out of the top 100. Those are the coins I'm looking at. Everything else it's kind of in the background. I didn't mention Cardano. Cardano, I think that's a good long-term hold too. I know a lot of people are bullish on that. So they have a great team and technology behind them. So definitely a lot of potential with that one as well. But and then I know people are talking about EOS as well. So I'm not invested in EOS, but if you like their technology and everything, then it could be another good one to get in. So David says, if you could only choose one Bitcoin or Ethereum to invest, which would you put your money in? David, that is a great question. Oh, that's a good question. Personally, if I had to choose one, I think it'd be Bitcoin. Just because it is the face of cryptocurrencies right now, and again, as more people look at it towards a store of value, I think they're kind of just going to put their money in there and hold it. And with so many people, saying it's going to reach, 50,000, 100,000, I do just see the long-term potential of it as more of like a safer alternative. Because, anything could come up and disrupt Ethereum, while it is good right now, I think just Bitcoin being that it is so popular and everyone knows it, that's the one I would choose. But, yeah. And David says, me, Ethereum. And, I can see both sides. Ethereum would probably have better growth percentage-wise. And people are saying, they were talking about the flippening, actually, for Ethereum. You can see right now, market cap of Ethereum is 92 billion. Bitcoin is 154 billion. So they're already closing in on that market gap, on that market, cap. And, if Bitcoin was to dip more and Ethereum was to gain ground, it could happen where Ethereum could be number one. Then technically Bitcoin would be an altcoin because it wouldn't be, the top coin. So, yeah. So, if that does happen, then that could disrupt a lot of stuff for Bitcoin. So it's something to keep an eye on. But, yeah, there's definitely good potential in both. So either one, isn't really a bad choice. But with that, it's been about 45 minutes. If no one else has any more questions, probably going to call it a night. I just want to come in and give my thoughts on the market and everything and just talk about some news articles. But, it's good to see we're on a rise right now. And can hopefully continue this rise tomorrow, because then that'll more solidify that, continuation of the bullish run we're having. Fitness Delivery says, have you looked into REQ at all? Very interesting project to help with mainstream adoption for payments, cross-border, etc. You can pay for a good or service in fiat or any crypto, and the recipient can receive in any fiat or crypto of their choice. So, wow, that's a... I've heard of REQ, but actually I haven't looked at the company specifically. Request Network, and it's up 10% today at about 33 cents. It got up to a high of about $1. It could be a coin worth looking at. With them doing that, for mainstream adoption of cross-border payments, I see a lot of potential with that, actually. Because if you have, the biggest pain is businesses only accepting like Bitcoin or Litecoin, and you don't have that, and you only have a certain coin. But with Request Network, if you can, use a different coin and it just converts it into the coin of their choice, I definitely see that as great potential, actually. So, hopefully the company takes off and, they're able to adopt that with businesses and everything else, because that would be huge. That would be great if you could choose whichever currency you pay with and accept. So, yeah, I definitely see good potential in that. I'd have to look at the company and see if they have any upcoming, news or projects or anything, and how the development team is doing. Yeah, that's definitely good though. If all their team is good and their their technology is coming along, I definitely see that as a good idea and a good project implementation. So thanks for bringing that up. But with that, I guess I'll go ahead and sign off here. Thank all of you for joining. I know this wasn't as big of a live stream you usually have. This was kind of a spur of the moment one again, and I just wanted to give you an overview of the market and how everything's going. But if you did like the video, please give it a like, and comment if you have any questions afterwards. And David said, congrats on the 2,000 plus followers. Thank you and good night. Hey, appreciate that, David. Thank you everyone to subscribing, and look forward to doing my next giveaway at 2,500 subscribers, and we'll just keep growing this channel together and growing this crypto family. So appreciate y'all tuning in, and till next time, thanks for watching.